Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In this video today we are going to learn how to change sound effects on tower in GameMaker Tower Defense template Towers vs Monsters. In previous video we have learned how to change zombie sound effect, so in this case today, in this video today, we are going to go a little bit further and try to change or disable tower sound effects. To show you on example what is that and what we are going to change, I'm going to open the game. I have disabled the music in background just to hear the sounds we want to change more clear and easier, and the sound effects we want to edit. So there are a couple of sounds connected to towers. You should be aware of that if you have played or tested this game yourself, but let's go through them. There is a map with places on which you can put your towers, on which you can build your towers. Those are these wooden with the rocks circles, and when you click on them they produce the sound. That would be the first sound we want to change, and the first sound which is connected to the tower, some kind of tower base selection sound, so you can hear that. You don't even have to watch the screen, just try to hear this click, this pop up. So when I click on the base there is some click, click, click. So that will be the first sound I want to change or disable. The second sound is the sound on the button, which I will click on now. If I choose this 15 tower or 30 gold coins tower, they produce some kind of sound. So that would be the second sound. First, second, okay, so we need to change or disable that. Maybe not, maybe you like this for your game, but at least you should know where you can find it if you need to make some kind of change. That is the second sound. When I decide that I want to buy this tower, the tower will fall from the sky and produce the third sound, like some kind of falling, like placing the tower. Hear it now. That is the third sound we want to change. First, second, and the third. Okay, and that isn't finished yet. Yes, so many sounds on towers. The fourth one is when I select the already existing tower. So when I put my mouse over it, nothing happens, it's just outlined to show me that I can select it, but I have to click on it and it will produce another sound. Again, some kind of click, but maybe you want to change it or disable it. And the fifth sound will be the sound of tower shooting the arrow. We will see that if we start the game, you can hear it like some kind of arrow swoosh sound. Cool. So we want to change 5 of those. First thing which I want to do is, maybe it would be smarter to disable zombie and Frankenstein sounds, which we have learned in previous video, just not to confuse us with tower sounds. So zombie play audio disable, Frankenstein play audio disable. All of those are in gameplay scripts. Okay, so we want to find sound effects for our towers. I will use the same approach like in previous videos. Couple of steps until I find what I need. First step, if you remember from previous video, would be checking the documentation. Click on documentation, read it, try to find tower sound effects. I couldn't do that, maybe I was wrong, maybe I have somehow overskipped it. Check it on your own. So this documentation is not helping me in this case. No big deal. We are going to go on to step 2, which is check your objects. We want to check our towers, so I'm looking for some kind of tower objects in my objects assets folder. Buttons, no enemies, environment, HUD, manages, projectiles, towers and buttons. Here it is. So open the objects folder, open the towers and buttons folder, and let's try to find the first sound effect, which is when you click on the base. When I click on the base, that is clicking on this guy here, so I have to somehow find that guy in objects. That you can see it here selected in also. Here is how it looks also in icon in sprites. Okay, so tower buttons, no, it's not there, and it doesn't make sense to be there, so it's probably in towers folders. And I can see obj tower base, so I will check that one. Create no sound effects blocks. Begin step, no sound effects blocks here. Left released, again nothing. User event, again nothing. This guy, obj tower base, I can read here in its parent window. It is the child of the object interactive parent, and I can maybe try to find that one, obj interactive parent. So I will close this one, and yeah, maybe I haven't checked this, sorry. Event, yeah, my bad. Here it is. Yeah, I'm talking with too tired, sorry. Here it is, some kind of user event. Yeah, user event, but why was I interested in? So you can see how it's easy to make a mistake. There is some kind of, let me check the whole script. If a pop-up menu exists, exit. If it doesn't, create that pop-up manager base. Okay, create some variables, we're not interested in that. Play the button press sound effects. So yeah, we were lucky. So when you click on obj tower base, which was what I talked about here, which was what I would check first, it was there. And it says, okay, I'm going to play some kind of sound button click when I click on this base. That is what we hear in our game, and that is what we are going to change. First thing which I would do, which is the smart thing, I think so, would to select this sound name and right click copy, so I can revert it later back if needed, if I make some mistake or if I mess things up. Then next thing would be to select some kind of different sound or disable it. Maybe we can disable it first to see. And now when I click on this button, this tower base, sorry, it should not produce any sound. Yeah, cool. So if you don't want any sound, just disable it. Nice. but I want to enable it and to hear some kind of, for example, zombie groan, zombie death, no, zombie groan. Where is the zombie groan? Zombie groan 1. Here it is. Just to test it if this will work. Yeah, it works. It's strange, but it works. Okay, so we have learned that if you want to disable or change the first sound, the first click on the tower defense base, you need to find obj tower base, go to user event 0 event and change this play audio block. I will now select this name of this audio, delete it, right click, paste, just to revert it to sound button click, and I will disable it just because I don't need it anymore. I want things clear to work easier. Okay, so that was the first click. The second click we said was the click of the button when you choose which tower you want to buy. So no sound, and now we have sound for 2 towers. First 15, the second 30. This is the sound we want to find and change. So these now are what? These now are some kind of user interface, some kind of buttons. So it makes sense we should look for them in towers, buttons, towers and buttons, tower buttons. Yeah, that's what we need. And let's go one by one. Obj button tower by arc. The problem here I can see is that most of those events, as you can see here, are grayed out, and they have some kind of icon here with 3 circles, which means they have this object is a child, is a kid of some kind of parent. They are connected, and that's why these are grayed out. So if I want to change them, I would have to break that connection, and that's okay in some situations and some type of work. That's nothing to be afraid of. But again, because this is something which this is the template which someone else made, not me, I'm still not sure if I will break something more and something bigger if I do this. So I will avoid breaking those connections as much as possible. Maybe later, but not if I would not break them if that's not a must. I will click on create just to see what is it there. Step, draw. Okay, there is a play audio sound, but it's in user event 0. But if I try to click, as you can see here on select asset, which we just did a few moments ago for tower base, here I cannot do it. Why? Because I have to open this kind of connection here, obj tower by parent. So same would happen if I check this obj tower by archer. So archer is the tower which cost 15 bucks, and arc is the tower which cost 30 gold coins. That's how they are called in game, not my choice. That's how they are called. And again, both of those, as you can see, the second one and the first one, they're also grayed out, so I'm not going to mess with those, but I'm going to try to find this guy here, the parent of those buttons, obj tower, obj button tower by parent. Okay, so obj button tower by parent, here we come. Okay, I'm going to close, and the good thing is that this guy is already in my list here, so I can check that one here, obj tower, obj button tower by parent. User event, sound button, no click. Okay, so what if that is what I need, but I'm not sure anymore. It says no click. Why? What is this guy doing at all? I have to read it. Get the current amount of money, check if it's if he can afford it, function call. This guy here, this code here, is checking if the player cannot afford this tower, then no click sound displayed. I think that's not what we need. We need to hear the sound when player can buy, and just selects the button. So let me check some other buttons. Tower cell. It doesn't make sense to look for this sound effect here, but let me just, yeah, there is one. Let me just check if the sell, this is when we want to sell the tower, so no. Upgrade, also no. Let me check obj menu button parent, but first, yeah, when I check obj button tower by parent, I can see that he has a parent also, and his parent is menu button parent. And this is again a little bit for you if you're a beginner, tricky and confusing and messy and scary. But again, that's all about the choice you make when you make the games and how you define things. It doesn't have to be like that always, or if you want to make things differently. So don't worry too much. We're just learning how things work in this template. It's not like some rule set in stone and you have to follow it step by step always. We will see that later in some later videos, but it's good for you to see and understand how things can become complex and connected very fast and very easy, and you should be aware of that, especially when you work with other people code. So we have seen that this obj button tower by arc has a parent, and its parent is this guy here, obj button tower by parent. But this guy here, he has a parent, so let's check his parent now, and that should be the, yeah, even he has one. Oh, this is crazy. So one guy has a parent which has another parent which has another parent. So 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. But maybe we will stop here. I hope so. In obj menu button parent, I will open the events of it to try to find, and here it is in first. Yeah, in first event, create event. So obj menu button parent, create event, open it and check out the blocks in it, and one block says play audio sound pop-up clip. Click on it to zoom it and focus it here, and then zoom it to read what is it for. Play the button click sound. I think that's what we need. Switch icon, okay. Play the button click sound, and that is menu button parent. Okay, I will first disable it again just to test the game and see if that's what we need for our second sound change. So when I click on this guy, we have disabled that sound, so nothing will be heard. Cool. And now when I click on those buttons 15 and 30, if I have disabled the right sound effect, nothing would be heard. Cool. So we have found that one also. And just to check it one more time, enable, select this guy, copy, select an asset, pick some sound effect, some zombie groan again, just to make it more visible. This the first was disabling, now it's how to change it. Nice. It's not nice, but it works. Select it, paste one just to revert it, disable it just to go to the next step. So we have disabled two sounds and we have changed two sounds. We have learned how to change them, and again we're just using the sounds from our game library. You can import sound whichever you want and make your game custom. So no sound here, no sound here, and now when I pick this tower I will hear the tower falling. That is the sound which I want to change now and find in my game. So this crash. Okay, so zoom out, zoom in a little bit, close this one again. Let's go back to towers maybe, because towers or tower buttons, which makes sense more, because we have clicked on tower button check. Yeah, maybe it's in tower buttons. So let me try to find that one, towers and buttons, and by arc. We have checked those two. Again, they are parented, so we don't want to check that one. Check one. This one had played the sound no click. Okay, so there's sound obj tower cell. No tower cell. Again, go back to menu button parent and events, create this. Just let me pause for a second. Yeah, unpausing the, I hope this works. 23 minutes. Okay, so yeah, I have checked this again just to be sure, losing a little bit time there. And why is not okay? So does it make sense that this sound is on button or it's on tower? I'm not 100% sure, again, because this is the code from some other guys, not mine. No click. Okay, I think I have checked all the tower buttons and there is no sound here. Okay, so I will go back to towers, obj tower archer. Okay, yeah, the same thing here. We have the parent here, so anytime you have the parent above some kind of object, that means that object is the child of it, and all of these events are defined first in parent and then changed here. So if there is a parent, check a parent first. Obj tower archer has obj tower parent, and obj tower arc has the same obj tower parent. So let me click and find this obj tower parent. Here it is. create event. Nice, it has play audio sound. We're not sure what that sound is or where it is played. And this parent defines cost, level, range. Nice. Okay, here it is. Nice, we have found it. So in obj tower parent, which is the object in towers folder, which is the folder in towers and buttons in objects folder, 1 2 3 folders deep, click on obj tower parent, click on create event, and here it is, play audio. I will disable it just to test now. When the tower is created, when it falls from the sky, now there should be no sound. No sound here, no sound here, no sound here. Nice. And again, I will enable it. So this was disabling. And now instead of, I'm going to copy this guy and pick select an asset, sounds, effects, zombie groan again. Play. Play. Click, click, zombie groan. Nice. Okay, I want to revert it. So copy paste the one which was from the start, select it with left mouse click, right mouse click, disable it, and now we have 3 out of 5, I think. No sound, no sound, no sound. Nice. The next one is this click. That is the 4th sound I want to change. Let's try to find that one. Again, it makes most sense that that click, that sound effect is somewhere here in towers objects, because I'm clicking on tower. So let's check those first. Some of those we have already checked are children, so I'm not going to open them again, but I'm going to check this guy here next, because it is the tower parent, so that this guy here is most important tower object definition manager, you can call it like that. You should, everything you want to find about and change about towers, it should be in it more or less. Creation, we have checked that one. There is a sound for creation, there are some variables for range and so on, we're not going to change that. Begin step nothing, draw step nothing, but these two, user event 0 and user event 1, they could be what we are looking for, because they are probably clicks on, yeah, here it is, play the button, press sound effect. Nice. So these user events, I think those guys who created this code could also use something like add event, mouse click, left down or whatever, left released, left pressed, sorry, or left released, and then put this code like this. But they have defined some other stuff here also. So they have picked this user event, which is some kind of like custom event you can define by your own. And we haven't learned that actually. There are lots of things we haven't learned so far, but no big deal, we are learning them this way. So user event 0, user event 0, I think this is what we need. There is play audio sound button click, click on it to focus it here, but you can also read this code here if you have time or strength. And again, I'm going to disable it, play it to test it. So no sound now, even if I click on this guy here. Nice. And that was like disabling. I am going to enable it, select it, copy paste it, change it to see if the change works also. Again, zombie groan. And it works. Great. Select it, paste it, and select it, disable it. So far so good. Half an hour, but we are almost done. That was the fourth sound. The last one is the projectile when the tower shoots an arrow. So I think, yeah, I think if you, yeah, it makes sense for me that they used sound, yeah, on arrow. So again, maybe I would check the towers first, but because I saw there is a projectiles folder with arrows and arc. Arc is that like electricity which that second tower shoots. The first tower shoots arrows, the second electricity. So they called the first ammo is arrow, the second is arc. That's how they call it. So I saw they have a projectile, so I would probably just check the arrow because I want to change the arrow sound. And here it is. I think here it is in obj arrow, create event, play audio. Simple as that. And there is a comment which says play a random arrow tag sound. I will disable it and just test. Now we should not hear our arrow sound when our archer arrow shoots an arrow. Wow. But we do, maybe because of the zombie, not here. Let me check zombie again in gameplay scripts. Maybe he's maybe he's making the mess. Yeah, we disabled the. Did we disable the? Did we disable the sounds for zombie? We did. So play the sound. Okay, not sure what. Oops. Not sure why we still hear this some kind of sound. I'm not sure if that's the sound we're hearing or something else. Yeah, definitely there is. Maybe it's a hit, I'm not sure. obj arrow. Obj, let me check obj towers again. Placing tower. Or maybe just obj arc hit. Yeah, I will definitely stop here, so because I don't want these to be longer than half an hour. So I will write the info in below my video, but kind of confused where this can be. Maybe it's connected to some kind of script, or nope. I would have to check it again, but why is this gameplay script not opening? Something is messy here. Maybe this arrow impact. So we have one arrow play audio for shoot, and this was the impact. Yeah, oh crazy. Disable. So let's disable this one. You have two sounds on obj arrow. One for shot and another for impact, and then it was one for zombie hurt. Crazy. Okay, let's just try. So there should be no sound here for shot or impact. Yeah, nice. So yeah, we have found it, but the whole idea here is that okay, we only have to find this guy dying. When zombie is dying, he is making some kind of sound. You can hear it. We can find that, and I will write it down on in description or comments. But the tower is working perfectly now. Half an hour and more, 40 minutes. So again, for the fifth sound, you need to go to objects folders, projectiles folders, object arrow, create event. Then there is a play audio block at the end of it, which will play arrow attack sound when the tower shoots an arrow. But there is also obj enemy parent collision event, in which you also have play audio as last block, and you can also enable or disable that one if you need it, or change it if you need it. And this block plays a random arrow impact sound. So this is when there is an impact of zombie and arrow. Because this in our game happens really fast and it's really close, when the zombie comes really close to the tower, it's like one sound. The first sound shooting the arrow, and the second sound impact of the arrow on the zombie, they are like played together because they are very close here. But if, for example, our range was this big and zombie was here somewhere on the left edge of the screen and the tower was here, you would have clear distinction between those two. The first one would be shot, like the first sound shot, and then the arrows flies, and then there is an impact hit, and that's the second sound. So just be aware of that. And that's it. Yeah, sorry again for lots of talk, but I hope this will help you on the long run, not just about this template only. And also I hope you have learned how in these two last videos, the previous one and this one, we have started the same approach from documentation. We could not find the solution in documentation. Then we have searched the sounds in objects, and that's where we find the solution for this tower problem. But in previous video we couldn't find the solution in objects, so we should go further and check the scripts, and we found the solution in scripts. So the whole point here is sometimes you will find what you're looking for very easy in documentation. Someone else solved it for you. If not, just use common sense, try with objects. If it makes sense that objects are what you need to change and what you're looking for is there. If not, go further. Scripts, sounds, whatever you think your solution is. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in next one. Bye for now.